Hello, and welcome to the Get Lean and Eat Clean podcast. My name is Brian Grin. I'm a certified health coach, trainer, and author. And this podcast is for middle-aged men and women looking to optimize their health and get their bodies back to what it once was 10 to 15 years ago. I will give you simple, actionable items to get long-term sustainable results. Thanks for listening and enjoy the show. All right. Welcome to the Get Lean, Eat Clean podcast. My name is Brian Grin, and I hope you're having a great day and had a great weekend. I'm excited to talk to you about my evening and morning routine. And if you listen to any of my interviews with the health experts I have every week, you'll know I ask my guests quite a bit, maybe not every show, but almost every show, what do they do to optimize their health with their morning routine and their evening routine? And I'm going to discuss mine today. And, you don't have to have exactly or do exactly what I do. It's just like everybody's a little bit different. We have a different schedule. But I think more importantly, try to find time to weave in some type of routine. And you'll find that, ending your day and starting your day on the right foot is so important. And it creates this snowball effect that leads to a great sleep or the start of a day. So let me start with my evening routine. And this is something that I'm always tweaking, trying to find sort of the optimal way to wind down in the evening, sort of shut off the body and the mind. I think this is so important because, once the day goes, a lot of us are busy. We have a lot of responsibilities and goals that we want to do throughout the day. And it's so important to, give some time to yourself at the evening time and be very present. And so one of the things I like to do right off the bat, actually after I eat, I like to go for a walk. Now, granted, I have two dogs, and I usually go with my wife, Erin, on a walk with the two dogs after we're done eating. This is just a one way to wind down, helps get the dogs to settle down. Also, after dinner, you've heard me talk about it before. A great goal is to go for a walk after dinner, whether you have dogs or not, just for blood sugar maintenance and digestion. And essentially, it doesn't have to be this hardcore walk. It could be a 10, 15, 20-minute walk through the neighborhood. And this is like the signal to get you to sort of, your body and your mind to start to realize, it's starting to get towards the evening. I should settle down a little bit. Another thing that I like to do is obviously shut my devices off or limit blue light exposure either through screens or TV. Now, if you do have to do some work late night, you can also wear some blue light glasses. And, obviously blue light wearing glasses have been sort of this trend that's increasing throughout the years. Mainly probably because of COVID and everyone was working from home and staring at screens all day doing Zoom calls. So their sales have increased a ton. I actually found a study in 2017 done by the University of Houston found that participants wearing glasses showed about a 58% increase in their nighttime melatonin levels. So by using blue blocking glasses, we can improve sleep and still continue to use our devices. That's nice because you can be productive at night. So I think that's it. I have blue blocking glasses and I like them, and I do find that it helps sort of ease the screen use on my eyes, and it can help sort of like settle down. But also, I don't necessarily recommend, if you don't have to, try to do productive work late at night. I sure can't, but some people really work well at night. But then again, if you're trying to wind down, I wouldn't recommend staring at screens, whether you have blue blocking glasses or not, because we want to sort of take our mind away from what we've been doing throughout the day. So, as the American Academy of Ophthalmology says, they take a little bit of a different approach. They said you don't need to spend extra money on blue light glasses to improve sleep. Simply decrease evening time, screen time, and set devices to night mode. So anyways, I'll leave it with that. You can pick and choose how you want to do that. But definitely you want to limit your blue light exposure towards the evening so you can start secreting melatonin and get a better night's sleep. Now, this is another thing that I've been doing a little bit here and there, maybe not every night, but a little bit of sleep meditation. My sister Alicia is gotten into meditation, and she recommended a few apps. One of them was 10% Happier app, and she said Oren J. Sofer. You can look it up. I'll put a link in the show notes. She's like, his voice is soothing and it'll put you right to sleep. So you'll probably fall asleep right then. So if you've never done any sleep meditation, check out 10% Happier and Oren J. Sofer. I have no affiliation with them at all, but this was her recommendation and something I've been messing around with. And I do find that it helps me fall asleep. So give it a go if you've never tried that. Doesn't have to be a long meditation. We're talking like 10 minutes. Lastly, a little bit of sauna use. Not everyone has a sauna. I totally get that. I actually was lucky enough to put an infrared sauna in because of the benefits that I have found and that I've heard through just listening to other podcasts and just doing research of my own. The National Institute of Health have linked infrared therapy with improved sleep quality. And it does this in many ways. It calms, it relaxes us, makes it easier for us to fall asleep after a stressful day. Secondly, the infrared therapy uses red light, which in turn causes your body to produce melatonin. So the more melatonin your body creates before bed, the easier it will be to fall and stay asleep. I will find when I do use some infrared, even for like 20 minutes, that I have better sleep. And I actually find that I actually fall asleep quicker. But I'm a pretty good sleeper as it is. But if sleep is really an issue, this is something maybe you should look into. Okay, so those are some of the things that I use in my evening. I can't say I use them all the time, but I try to implement at least 2 or 3 out of the 4 things that I mentioned. Now, morning routine is a big one as well. And I know sometimes people get up and just go. I will say, if you could set your alarm 10, 15 minutes early so you have time for yourself. If you have kids, it's important to have time for yourself. And simply going for a morning walk, if that's going to be your morning routine, then, and you were doing nothing before then, I think that's a big step in the right direction. You get some natural sunlight. And you know what? The one thing that morning walk does, it creates positive momentum for the rest of the day. You check it off, you've done something, and it sort of gets you in that mindset of, okay, I'm going to have a nice, productive day. Some other things that I like to do other than a morning walk, because I have dogs, so I take them every morning on a walk, is I try to read 10 minutes a day. I'm lucky enough that I have a little bit of time in the morning. You know, I usually like to have about, I'd say about an hour to, and excuse me, half hour to 40 minutes to dedicate to myself without turning on my phone. And that is reading, because reading is something that I'm not great at, I will say, but 10 minutes a day I can do. I've also picked up some new hobbies. I am getting piano lessons. So maybe pick up a hobby. If you don't want to read, you know, you can paint for 10 minutes, or you can play piano, which is what I'm doing, or guitar. And I just do 10, 15 minutes a day. So learning an instrument, I was doing a little bit of research. We all know the benefits of just helping with your brain and neuroplasticity and things like that. It's sort of a peaceful retreat. You know, I find it as a peaceful retreat. And a 2016 study, therapeutic outcomes of playing music include better communication skills, improved emotional release, and decreased anxiety and agitation. So musical training promotes cognitive function, mental health, and a connection to others. So that alone can be a big step in the right direction. I think as we get older, we feel like, oh, why should we take up a new hobby? But why not? Can be beneficial to a lot of people, including myself. I like to do a little bit of movement prep. Okay. And again, like I said, start with one of these. You don't have to do all of them. Movement prep, obviously, if you went for a walk and that's all you can fit in, start with that. But I like to do a little bit of maybe like a light yoga class. If you're familiar with yoga, just getting the body moving. It doesn't have to be a deep stretch or anything. If you know yoga, like cat cow, getting some spine movements in there, maybe some down dog or some pigeon. If you're unfamiliar with that, there's plenty of obviously guidance on YouTube, or there's an app I used to go to a lot with, was Downward Dog app. Down Dog app is the name of it. So get some movement prep. Think about it, even laying down for 6, 7, 8 hours, and you get 40 plus, you don't move like you did when you were 20s, when you were in your 20s. So do a little bit of movement prep. And lastly, this is something that I've added in more over the last few months, most recently, is a gratitude journal. So blessed in many ways. And I actually found a study that was done a few years ago showing that gratitude means you are acknowledging the goodness in your life. And by writing these things down, you are able to feel more positive. You're able to feel positive emotions, relish good experiences, and build strong relationships. And it's a recipe for a much happier life. So we all have many things to be grateful for. I know I do. And I think writing it out is a great way to do that. So if you don't have a gratitude journal, you don't need to buy one. You could literally just, just grab a bunch of paper and just start writing it there, or even keep like a doc with it. But I think it's a way to look back and just see how many things that we have that a lot of people really don't have. So that is all I got for you. That was my morning routine. Like I said, listen to this again if you want to hear it again. But the main thing is take 1 or 2 or even 3 things from the things that I've mentioned with my morning routine and my evening routine. And hopefully this will help you lead a happier, healthier life. So again, hope you're enjoying my micro podcast. Feel free to write a review, ask a question if you got on YouTube or in social media. And I hope this helps you with your routine, whether it's in the morning or in the evening. And I appreciate you listening. Have a great rest of the day. And thanks so much. Hey, Get Lean, Eat Clean Nation. Are you a man between the ages of 40 and 60 years old, looking to lose inches around your waist, have significantly more energy throughout the day, and gain muscle, all while minimizing the risk of injuries? Well, I'm looking for 3 to 5 people to work one-on-one with in my Fat Burner Blueprint Signature Program, which I've developed by utilizing my 15 years experience in the health and fitness space. This program is designed specifically for those committed to making serious progress towards their health goals over the next 6 months. We will focus on sleep, stress, nutrition, meal timing, and building lean muscle. If this sounds like a fit for you, email me at brian@briangrin.com with the subject line Blueprint. That's brian@briangrin.com with the subject line Blueprint. Thanks for listening to the Get Lean, Eat Clean podcast. I understand there are millions of other podcasts out there and you've chosen to listen to mine, and I appreciate that. Check out the show notes at briangrin.com for everything that was mentioned in this episode. Feel free to subscribe to the podcast and share it with a friend or family member that's looking to get their body back to what it once was. Thanks again and have a great day.